coached 55 years ago. And I want to speak, I've given the opportunity to speak a little bit about those days and why, from our point of view, 55 years ago for Dartmouth rowing was a particularly important tipping point. It begins with a quick comment about photo finishes. Pete Gardner and I rowed together on the Princeton crew that was in the Olympic finals in 1948. We got into the finals by virtue of beating Yale by 1 inch. 1 inch. It was a photo finish. And I took the liberty of printing up some pictures of the photo finish taken by the photo finish camera. I'll put them around later on for anybody who'd like to say them. I think it's the most powerful expression of what rowing is all about that I've ever seen. What it also shows is the bows were 1 inch apart. The coxswains were 6 feet apart. Yale was coming by us like that. When it was done, the Yale coach, hearing that Princeton had won, went to the photo finish cameraman. It was the first time that a photo finish camera had ever been used in a crew race. The cameraman was the photo finish cameraman from Monmouth Park, the horse race park. And the Yale coach, Buck Walsh, got in and shook his lapels and said, "This is all wrong. You saw how we came up." And he went on and on like this. And some of our friends remember hearing the cameraman saying, "You know, I take 8 pictures a day. Millions of dollars change hands every time. And this is nothing but, excuse me, a goddamn crew race." But Pete and I shared a moment. We made it to the finals. We came in 3rd in the Olympic trial finals, 1948, rowing in the same boat. And we know how important an inch can be. Now that makes me want to make a second point. I don't want to talk too long. I came to teach English at Dartmouth in 1954 and was freshman coach in the fall, and the varsity coach left, so I was asked to be the varsity coach in the spring, which I did. And I was privileged to coach our crew in the Dad Vale Regatta, which we had won the year before. And we agreed that if we could win the Dad Vale a second time, we would apply to compete in the ERC Regatta the next year. So everything depended on winning the Dad Vale. We won by 3 inches. It took the judges 22 minutes to decide to give the trophy appropriately to Dartmouth. Now, one of the burdens in my life, some of you know I served as president of Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida for 12 years. One of the burdens in my life is that the second position crew was Rollins College. And that's the closest they'd ever come to winning the Dad Vale Regatta. But on the basis of that, we were invited to compete the next year. And on the basis of that, we were invited to compete in the IRA Regatta the next year. And that was really the tipping point that led to our gathering for this evening tonight. I do want to say one final thing. When the race was over after the Dad Vale, my crew gave me a stopwatch. I don't think this kind of stroke watch is used anymore. It's the old-fashioned kind where you push it and count 3 strokes and push it again, and it tells you what stroke you're rowing. They gave it to me after 1955. On the back, it says, Thaddeus Seymour, best of luck, even if it's only 3 inches of it. And I have had this watch hanging in a case in my office for 55 years, and I've never been more grateful for all the luck that I've had in my life thanks to the Dartmouth Rowing Club.